of July 15th. All members present except Mr. Creighton. Okay. I have a read-on today for the sale of surplus equipment in the amount of $575. That'll be a read-on. I have site plan matters. Is Peter here for that? Oh, here he is.
Good morning. Two matters for the town board to consider, acting as the Board of Site Plan Review. First matter is Smithtown Nissan. Back in 2010, the Board of Site Plan Review approved the site plan for the modification of the former Camelot Diner to be used as a car dealership. The Rubio family had some issues. They're just requesting an extension of time. They were supposed to obtain a final CO by 2011. They're just asking for a little bit more additional time. So we're recommending approval to complete the site work by the end of November of this year, and Mr. Rubio said that would not be an issue. The second matter is called...
So what are we,
I'm sorry.
what are we doing? Approving that?
Yeah, there's a resolution on for this afternoon.
Okay. Right, I got that note.
Be it resolved that the town board, or the Board of Site Plan Review, grant an extension of time
Right.
till November 30th.
Okay.
The other matter is a site plan called VEA 181st Street Realty, 1407. This is for the property across the street, and it's for demolition only. This is for the demolition of 94, 96, and 102 West Main Street. These are the three buildings: the former law office, the former tattoo parlor, and the former lumberyard building. I just want to make clear it does not include buildings out on the corner of Maple, and also it does not include the former Gallo Kitchens building. It's these three buildings only.
Well, he doesn't own those other buildings.
Correct. He owns
Okay.
these three
Right.
buildings.
And so what is it you're telling us?
We're recommending approval of the site plan with 8 conditions. The applicant has signed an agreement of the conditions
On all of them?
on all of them.
Okay.
Okay?
And the conditions include taking these buildings down, that apply to this building takedown?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
And how soon does that happen if we approve it?
As soon as they're issued a demolition permit. Before he gets a demolition permit, there'll be some other items, utility disconnects, security fencing, to make sure that somebody on the sidewalk's not going to be impacted.
And the demolition permit is from the building department?
From the building department. It can be done rather quickly.
And DOT if needed.
DOT if necessary, if there's any work out in the right-of-way. The buildings are right up to the property line of the state right-of-way, so that is a concern. But
And once they demolish it, is it,
they're supposed to basically fill in the hole, topsoil seed, because we don't know when the construction will take place.
so it's not an eyesore?
We hope not. That's our role in this.
Matthew, you have
Thanks, sir.
Litigation matter? Is that why Peter's here? Also, Frank, there's something that you want to discuss regarding the Damiano's property,
You're talking about the
recreation center there?
recreation
road.
center? Yeah, well, there's two items
Okay.
with regard to that. One is I sent a memo to the board. Damiano's has the old Sportsplex, which used to be located on Broadley Avenue, which is right by the Mercedes dealer. And he wants to, basically, I think we sent you a memo with a sketch. He wants to put high-vac equipment, or heating, ventilation, and air conditioning equipment around the sides of the buildings rather than from the top of the buildings. And it's just for maintenance reasons, it's easier to get to. Normally, since this is a modification of a special exception, it has to come back before the board. We think this is overkill. And we're asking the board if you would consider waiving the special exception requirements for just this particular item.
That's reasonable.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
wonderful, but who's asking, who's the overkill?
No, you have to, normally, if you modify any special exception
Oh,
use,
right.
it has to come back before
Okay.
the board. It's a town board public hearing. And we've done this before in the past. We did this with St. Catherine's when they did the emergency door replacements. We did it with the Howard Johnsons, with the filling of the swimming pools. These are minor changes in the site, but we feel that it's best to come back before the board on a case-by-case basis and ask you.
So what do you need from us, a verbal, okay?
If your board is all in agreement, I will, we'll go through with it, and he'll
Okay.
file for whatever the site plan exemption
Okay.
is. The second item is, I've got a letter which I did not yet submit to the board. As you may be aware, by Cider Lumber, we have a road stump that goes up, and then we have one property which is owned by the Nino, which is the hairdresser that's over there, along with his sister-in-law.
Explain that again, Frank. What do you mean we have a road stump?
Well, would you have a road that just goes from Southern Boulevard about 200 feet in, and
Right.
it stops?
And stops, right?
And
okay,
stops.
Yes,
And our proposal is to bring a road all the way over to Broadley Avenue,
to go through.
to go through, yes. And that would connect with Broadley Avenue is a private road right next to the Mercedes dealer, between the McDonald's and the Mercedes dealer.
Right.
What we've been trying to do for almost years is connect that particular road system. At this particular point in time, we haven't, Damianos has agreed to build any road that we want in that particular area. In other words, he'll bear the cost of it. What is outstanding at this particular time is about 100 feet of width of property for a road that's owned, that's in between the Spaceplex property and this. And my recommendation, which I'm going to be sending in a memo, is that we consider condemning and acquiring that particular property.
It would make sense, because to
Okay.
unlandlocked valuable property that could be on the tax rolls
They-
with buildings.
Okay, they can't agree on a price. We try to get a private deal on it, and I think at this particular point, we need, one of the things that we've been talking about is trying to have the car dealers have better access to their particular sites and have a turnaround for the trucks, and we feel that this will go a long way towards allowing us in that particular area.
The other problem is, you have Broadly, so Broadly and whatever, I think that was that Cider Lane it's called now?
Yes.
You'd have to actually get, you're gonna have to get both of them dedicated to the town of Smithtown.
Well, the first part is dedicated. The one in front of
I'm
Cider.
talking about the new piece, if we get it, and then Broadly. if
Well,
we're gonna do-
he's willing to give it,
You're
he's
gonna
willing
have
to.
to dedicate them
yeah.
into the town
You don't
network.
understand.
He's willing
because
to
I don't.
dedicate. Mhm.
I guess they're looking to
Okay.
dedicate a road.
What we're
There's
gonna do
wait,
is-
there's 200 feet of road.
Yes,
You wish to extend it,
yes,
okay. And Mr. Damianos will extend that.
that's correct.
Okay, but then you come to a dead end here because there's another piece that is not available.
That's correct.
And you want the town to condemn that, and when you condemn that, then you have the road go from one end to the other end. It
That's
goes through.
correct.
Okay,
It's that simple. You'll get a memo
Alright.
from me that attached with Damianos's a memo with regard to that. And this is a road that's been, this is not a surprise. This is something that we have been planning for almost
About
15
40 years.
Well,
About 40 years. It's been,
Okay.
it was originally called the Nest Concert Industrial Park, that
Okay.
whole area,
so
going back to my
I just want the board to be aware of it, and then the board will make a decision.
When
And
you,
if you,
when you send it, as per our discussion with the car dealerships, can you include some type of a basic plan on your thoughts on that?
yes, we'll have.
Just so, because that's related to if and when we ever make a decision to take that property.
Yes,
Okay.
I will have a map drawn that the board will easily see what we can do, along with an aerial, so that you,
But
current
if we're
area.
gonna do it, we should move along
Yeah.
and get it done.
if you got
just-
the meets and bounds, then the town attorney
Yeah.
has to take action immediately.
Let's
Well-
just start the process. Why wait
Yeah.
for a memo?
If the boards have an agreement, that I'll talk with the town attorney, and we'll start the ball, and then we'll have it ready by the next meeting.
Well,
Okay,
other
but I'll
than-
send a memo in the interim, so that you'll see what we're
Other than
doing.
Councilwoman Noack, we've all known about this for the last 10
Yes,
to
I'll-
12
But
years.
the road that's not available, does somebody own it? Why do you say it's not,
Well, what
the expression
happened
was not
is
available? Does
the-
somebody own it?
Yeah.
The owners cannot agree. There's two owners on that particular property. One wants to give the land to the town. The other owner wants to be compensated for it, and they can't agree on a compensation figure. And this has been going back and forth for decades, and we've been trying to get this road system in place. And since they're doing work at the Spaceplex, and we've been having a problem, or they have a problem with, if everybody knows this, when you come out where the McDonald's is, you can't make left-hand turns at that particular location. And we have a lot of kids and families that are coming out there.
Quite a few accidents there, and it would be good to bring them out to Southern,
Yeah.
up to the traffic lights. So
Well,
they can make
that's
that
what our
left.
plan was, and that's what Damianos agrees, that the best access is to bring them over to Southern Boulevard, where they have a traffic light at both ends of the roads, and then they can make safe left-hand turns. And this was always planned in this particular area.
It's no different than by St. Patrick's Roman Catholic Church, where Demianos helped us get that finished.
By the office building,
Yes.
yes. Mhm.
But what happens to the owner that wanted to be compensated?
Well, we compensate them. We
Oh,
have
you-
to
you
get.
do?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's a condemnation. We wanted it to be, since it was going to be private through negotiations, they've gone back and forth. But at this particular juncture, we are at a point where we've been wanting this road, and I feel the best approach for the town board is to go ahead and condemn it. We're talking about 100 feet that's holding up a large area, and I think from just a traffic safety point of view, this is something that has been planned and we need it for that particular area. And if Damianos is doing any more, he's planning on building another industrial warehouse behind the McDonald's, we can't have everybody come out through that roadway, even though it's a roadway, onto that street, because you can't make a left-hand turn. If you've ever gone to either the Mercedes dealer or the McDonald's, there's no left-hand turn that you can make during daylight hours.
Like I said, the main thing is both of them get put into the public road system,
Yes.
even
Mhm.
broadly. Yeah.
Broadly, yes, but we have to talk about, well, I'll talk to you about that. There's some details about bringing that up to specs.
Okay.
But in the long run, you're correct, we have to do that. Okay?
Okay,
Well, we don't go to Mercedes.
yeah, right.
He sells used cars, too.
VW. Okay, every year we get the question, are we going to give the same cost of living increase that SAG members got to exempt employees? So are you in favor of giving that 1.4 increase to all exempts?
Absolutely.
Everybody on board with that?
Yes. We need to look at the whole
Is
scale.
this retroactive or
Yeah, well, it's July 1st.
Yeah, they all get it July 1st.
July 1st, but they haven't gotten it for a year
No.
and a half, right? So is this retroactive or is just this
No,
year?
no. In the SAG contract, there is a clause that gives them on July 1st, whatever the federal cost of living increase number is.
Mhm.
And traditionally, the town board also awards that.
It's road.
It's elective on our part. We give it to the managers, the 22 or 23 exempt employees. Okay?
I looked at that whole schedule that she sent around. There's a lot of work that needs to be done on the whole thing. Plus, even elected officials need to be looked at on the whole process, and that's part of the budget process I think we should talk about this year.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, I had, talked to the comptroller yesterday, in reference to the $50,000 transfer that we had discussed at the last board meeting. And he reworked this, he just inadvertently forgot to get it over to us, so I'm asking if there's any support to put this on this afternoon. Read it on, it's a transfer of $50,000 into capital improvements to various ball fields.
Fine.
If
Sounds good
there's
to me.
support for the board,
Yes, he'll
only
be on.
because we don't have another meeting till August, so they're interested in getting to work on these 5 or 6 fields.
Okay,
That's what I just talked about.
Yes.
done. Matthew, you have a litigation matter. So I'll move to go into executive session.
Second. Third. All in favor?
Fine.
Died, huh?
Almost $3,000, like 10
You
years
did?
ago, 12 years ago, yeah.
You should keep doing it. I'm gonna do it
You
again
can
this
do it
year.
every 2 years.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my mom's
Really?
too.
Ready?
Why do you do it every 2 years?
Because it comes down
You're on, you're on.
again sometimes. Yeah.
I'll move to close the work session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So done.